Welcome to the Straight Topics, where everybody's got the flu, apparently. I'm here with Abe and Eddie. Hey, Abe. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Troy.
What's up, Troy?
What's going on?
Coughing a lot.
Yeah, I think we all are. I think we all got got the crud or something.
Every time we start a podcast, right before we start it, we all tend to just cough and hack a bunch.
It takes us 20 minutes to get started, literally.
Yes.
See, Eddie's still coughing.
Yes. It's very difficult to get a clear, manly voice.
Well, it's difficult for you to do that anyway.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry.
That's
Did
horrible.
something.
Yeah.
Sorry, Troy.
Anyway,
Today, a couple things before we get started. First of all, I want to say thanks to the people who are listening.
Yeah.
And we have picked up a bunch of followers.
Oh, yeah.
197 followers on Facebook.
You all rock.
Yeah. Thank you all so much. We'd like to thank the people that are listening. We got people listening all across the United States, California, all the way up north to Michigan,
Florida, too.
Florida down south, Florida.
We used to have a Mexico.
We did have a Mexico listener.
Yeah.
He apparently didn't like
Apparently he
it.
didn't like us because he stopped listening.
He's like, I ain't listening to these fools.
He's probably thinking, I don't understand what they're saying anyways. They're crazy.
Well,
bunch of
we are
hillbillies.
We are from East Tennessee. Not
True.
many people can understand what we're saying.
That's true.
But anyway, we want to thank everybody for listening, for subscribing to the Facebook page. Thank you so much. Let's cover that while we're on it.
Still want some comments, please.
Yeah,
Mike Hill, thank you for the comments.
Yeah.
You can get to us at facebook.com/straytopics. That's STRAYTOPIX. You can get to us at twitter.com/straytopics. You can get to us at our webpage, straytopics.com. We are hosted on multiple
platforms,
providers, so you can get us on on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on iTunes. You can get us on
bunch of
Google
different
Podcasts.
ones,
Yeah. And for you RSS junkies, if you'll go to straytopics.com, the website, at the bottom of the page, there is an RSS feed there. Also, the two links to our Facebook and Twitter accounts are there on that page. So visit us there, and you'll be able to get to us in multiple ways.
Absolutely.
I was going to tell you, too, Troy did all that without having a piece of paper in front of him. That came all from his brain.
Well,
That's why it was not much.
that's why we're nuts. That's right. That's
Well,
right.
you gave your heart out. I feel like you did.
Yeah, thanks, Troy, for giving your heart out.
Well,
for
you're
us.
welcome. You guys, I love y'all.
You love me?
Today's podcast, we're going to talk about getting older.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And we are all getting older.
Even the
obviously.
millennial.
Yes, even the millennial is
getting older, too.
Everybody's getting older.
Yeah, my birthday's going to be April. It's pretty close.
We had a member of this crew here that just had a birthday, so he got a little older just a week ago or so.
Not as old as my wife's going to be this year, though. She hits the big 5-0.
Better hope she ain't listening.
You're in the dog.
She don't listen to this.
Not many people do.
My daughter does.
Anyway,
Well, we got a few. We thank you for the 3.
My daughter and her friend does. They listen to it on the way to school in the morning on the bus. They said it's pretty funny.
That's pretty cool.
we hope that you can hear our buddy Abe.
Yes.
We have cranked
Sorry for the
volume up on him. And,
very light volume on my side.
We have given him strict instructions to speak into the microphone with his man voice if he has
A
one.
manly voice.
My lips are all over this microphone.
Yes.
Hopefully that helps.
He keeps getting shocked.
It is pretty funny.
Static electricity keeps hitting me right in the lips.
Yeah.
Okay, so today's topic, out of the hat, is getting older. And so we're going to do a few little points about getting older. Everybody is getting older. And a lot of people don't think about getting older until one day they wake up, they look in the mirror, and they go,
Crap, I'm older.
I'm older. Or they go out to do something, and they can't do it like they used to do.
Yeah. That's true.
So that's the first topic, doing what you used to do.
You know, me and Eddie, we walk around a lot, and it's kind of funny. We were walking down this little hill, and there was a brick kind of embankment, and then it jumps into a parking lot. And it isn't but maybe 2 feet off the ground. I walk up to that thing, and normally, as a kid, you would take off running, jumping on anything. You would jump completely all over the place off of it, no problem. I walk up to it now, and I look down at it, and I'm like, should I do this or should I not?
Yeah.
Because I feel like my kneecaps are going to be into my ankles if I do.
Yeah, there was a time. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like jumping off of something. There was a time I would just jump off of it.
Yeah,
and keep
you wouldn't
going.
think
And now you
twice
think
about
about it, you're like, I don't know if I need to jump off this. Maybe I need to walk around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, getting older, doing what you used to do,
You're right.
you can't do a lot of the things that you used to do.
I tend to pay attention when I'm walking through grass sometimes because you don't notice if there's a hole there or nothing like that. And when you get older, it seems like when I was a kid, excuse me, when I was a kid, I remember spraining my ankle like 7 times running through the yard outside in one day, and it never had a problem. It'd heal up. I'd be fine. I'd get back up and run around. If I sprain my ankle now, I'm down for a while.
That is definitely a thing. Getting older, you don't heal as quick. Things seem to hurt a little bit more. Takes a lot longer, like I said, for things to get healed up. And so, yeah, getting older, not being able to do what you used to do is a big thing. The thing that's funny about it is for, like I said, a lot of people don't realize they're getting older until they are older.
Happens,
Yeah.
If you're in high school, that's the last thing you're thinking about because you
yeah,
have a lot
yeah.
of youth and there's nothing hurts, nothing bothers you,
Right.
And then as you progress into your 20s, it's still nothing major.
Right.
30s, even your early 30s, millennial, you probably don't think about it a whole lot, really. You probably don't.
Just a little bit.
But as you progress, when you hit your 40s, you still, depending on your health level,
Wonk, wonk.
you don't think about it a lot in your 40s, really, if you're in decent health. But there is a time somewhere between 40 and 50, somewhere in there, that you start, the light goes off and you're like, oh, I'm getting older.
Mm-hmm. Well, now Abe told me it's at 35. That's when it's all downhill.
I'll tell you, man, it happened to me right at 36. 36 years old, everything started going wacky. My thyroid, just everything, man. And I was like, oh my gosh, what the crap is going on? And, it's just part of getting older, unfortunately. Even the doctor told me that. She's like, well, you are getting older. You're going to feel aches and pains that you don't normally feel. That's just part of it. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful.
That's the truth. I mean, as we get older, things, it's amazing what stops working like it used to work.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be turning 34 in April. So
my gosh.
From what I understand, I've only got a year before it's all downhill.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Well, that's just it. The aches and pains, those are the things that stop you from doing the things you used to do, being in soccer and stuff and trying to referee. I mean, I just can't run with those kids like I used to. I mean,
yeah, especially the U19 boys.
Oh my gosh, they wear you out.
Yeah, they're full of youth, though.
Yeah.
They can get it.
I'll say this, going with all this stuff, I think there's a lot of preventatives that we could have done as we were younger, as far as eating better and exercising more instead of sitting and watching TV.
Well, you're right, and I will say this. My wife played basketball when she was young in high school,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and she was pretty good. And she's paying for it now.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Knees, she had her knees scoped. She's had, she's pretty arthritic and takes a lot of ibuprofen, which is bad for her.
Yeah,
she does
it
that
is.
because
I've done that too.
she hurts and aches. And so sometimes I wonder, I'm glad that we play sports. And she would
Yeah.
tell you right now, she would do it again. But it takes a toll on you.
It does.
And somewhere down the line, when you get older, you pay a price for that.
It does, especially those type of sports, because those are extreme sports. Like you're getting hit. And
The basketball court, you're
Yeah.
running on that wooden floor, up
Yep.
and down it all for a season. So
yeah, a lot of people end up having those injuries later. But I mean, as far as, maybe doing light exercise, like what you do, you go on a treadmill, you run. You're not only trying to get, stay healthy, but I mean, you're not losing muscle mass. I think it was NASA, if I'm right, people would, do like tests where they would do tests on people that would come in and they would lay in a bed for like a month or 2 months or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then when they get done, it actually lose a percentage of body muscle, I guess.
yeah, muscle mass.
Yeah, and you can't get it back.
Yeah, you definitely got to move. You got to keep
Yeah.
moving. But I think although you think about running or moving or walking, and you think, well,
Yeah.
it's going to be bad for you as you get older, but actually it's the reverse. It's really good for you.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got to keep moving. You got to keep your muscles toned. You got to keep your joints limber. And the only way to do that is to move. If you just sit down, then that's when the fun starts.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's when the aches and pains start.
Well, people end up retiring, and then it seems like either if they don't stay active,
Yeah.
they end up passing away soon.
And I see a lot of people at the gym. It's really cool to see some of these guys that come in and they're, 60-something year old, maybe even older.
Oh, yeah.
And they come in, now they're not on the treadmill doing, they're not running at 8 miles an hour or nothing.
Right.
But they get on there and walk, and some of them will put the elevation up to 10 or 15, and they'll
mode.
walk at 3.5 miles an hour or something like that for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really impressive.
More than what I can do.
That's really impressive, and it tickles me to see that because I'm glad to see those older folks doing those things to try to stay healthy.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, go ahead.
I jumped the gun. I was thinking of when we talk about exercise, and I think food is a big part to our body as far as being older or as we get older. Because there's a lady that had like arthritis, and she didn't have a lot of energy. She was just tired all the time, and I guess she reached out to this lady called the Juice Lady, and she set up a juice that had just like a little bit of fruit and a lot of vegetables. And she said, do this for a month. That woman, after about a month, all her arthritis was gone, and she was outside chopping wood like Troy would be.
Yes,
when he
back
was
in
younger.
my youth.
Yes.
Making toys.
Making toys.
Making toys. But she had tons
Stacking
of energy.
bricks.
And she felt good, and some pain was leaving. Because we was always taught in school, wasn't we? You need to have the food groups.
Four
It's the
basic
pyramid,
food
yeah.
Yeah, and do we really eat that?
Not really. Most of the time, what we eat isn't even in the pyramid.
Yeah.
It's artificial.
Well, that's a good point. But I think it would help aging better. We'd probably age and look better and feel better. And I think that's what everybody really wants when they get older. But when you're young, you think, I'm living for today. I don't care.
Well, when you're young, you don't think about anything because you feel good.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
Let's face
You're
it.
right.
I remember, unbelievably, I'm 53, and I can remember being young.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And I remember feeling, invincible. Nothing's going to bother you. You could run through a wall. No, who cares? You just get up and dust yourself off and keep going.
You've done that before?
Not really, but I felt like I could. But as you get older, those things fade.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of things.
Well, and as you get older, you start to fear a little more. I mean, I know when you're young, you get a cold, you get something, you just suffer through it, and eventually you get better. Yeah. Now you get a cold, and you're like, I got to go to the doctor the next morning because, if I don't, I'm going to die. I mean, that's why you kind of feel because you can't take the pain anymore.
Well, it ain't, and a lot of times it's not the pain, it's the fear that it's something
more
really bad.
Yeah.
As you get older, let's face it, that's one of the things that I don't know if that's on our points here, but we'll go ahead and introduce it. As you get older, you start thinking about death.
Yeah.
And you start seeing a lot of things happen to the people your age.
Yep.
You start seeing some of the people you go to school with pass away, unfortunately. You start seeing some people that, come up with disease.
Yep.
And they're your age. And so you start finding yourself, and I know this is pretty grim, really, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And as my father used to tell me, and he still does to this day, he's 77. So he'll tell me lots of times, if you just listen to me, I know a little, I'm not stupid. I know some things, I've been here for a while.
Right.
And, he's absolutely right about some things. But the thing about it is when you start seeing these people get sick and start falling off health-wise, you start trying to look at them to see what might have caused that.
Yeah.
And see if you could be in that category.
Oh, yeah, I think that's absolutely the truth. I mean, some of my friends and stuff, that I've seen get sick, and I've actually had some to pass away too, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
What did they do that maybe caused them to get the cancer, or is it something we're eating and stuff? All those things kind of run through your mind.
Yeah, you're right. I remember at one point, it's been years back, but I remember getting a flu or something, and I ended up getting a pretty bad fever. And I remember going on the way to the hospital, and I actually had a moment where I thought, man, I don't know if I'm going to die or not. You know, it kind of scared me. Kind of, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, some of that, and as you get older, like you all said, you do start to kind of, and I don't know if it's just fear. I mean, you shouldn't fear and just run away, but I think you get a little wiser.
You do.
Too,
and, you know, and
about what you're doing.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see things, and you start thinking about those things more than you would when you were younger. Because when you're younger, you're just focused on having fun. You know, you don't really think about, oh my God, is this it?
Well, a lot of times you don't even
right.
think about major disease when you're young.
No,
I mean, most
you don't.
They don't know. I mean, and we didn't know. We didn't care.
Right.
It wouldn't, you know, it just wasn't in our thought.
I think that's part of becoming more wiser as you get older and more experienced, and you see things. And
Yeah.
but you see it happening close to home.
right.
And when you start seeing that stuff happen close to home, that's when it really starts affecting you.
Yeah. I believe that.
The fear, like you said a minute ago, you get a cold, you go to the doctor, and it's not that you're going to the doctor because you got the cold. It's really just to make sure that that's what it really is a cold.
Reassurance.
It's a reassurance thing.
I feel like we go now to the doctor more than we ever have. I mean,
Yeah.
and maybe it's because people are more aware of going to the doctor now. You
Yeah.
know? Before, it's like you never went to the doctor to get checkups and stuff, you know.
No, my grandfather back in his day, he never did go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason he would go to the doctor is if he was literally almost dead.
Right.
And nowadays, we go to the doctor over every little thing, pretty much.
Well, see, I used to be real bad. I wouldn't go to the doctor. I didn't go to things. I'd stay away, and I found myself actually going a little bit more than I used to. For one, you know, I usually would just deal with it if I got hurt or something like that, or something was going on, I was sick, I just deal with it. But I realized, you know, going to the doctor, sometimes you can cut that stuff in half too. So,
yeah,
They can catch things sooner.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, something that might be bad might not be as bad. So I think it is a good thing to go get checkups and stuff.
I agree. I kind of wish there was a movie once upon a time, Elysium. I don't know if you've ever
Yes.
seen that.
I remember
seen
the
it.
movie.
And it was something.
Matt Damon?
I
Is it Matt Damon?
I don't know the actor.
well, you knew the movie.
I just barely know the movie.
Here comes Thaddeus again.
Claudius
Claudius.
12.
Claudius the fifth.
Claudius 12 is Claudius the second, wasn't it? Third?
Well, I don't know. You know him. I don't know.
I don't
Apparently,
remember.
You know him personally.
I know
so-
him, but, you know, me and him haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, apparently. Anyway, in this movie, they had Earth was in shambles. It was not a very good place to be. It was like the slum place, and they had developed a new planet. And if you were anybody, you know, the important people.
Healthy, I guess, too, ain't it?
Well, the important people and healthy were only allowed to go to the new planet. And so lots of the people on the old planet or down here on Earth were kind of mad, but you know, and they had a scanner at the new planet that they could put you in, and if you had anything wrong with you, anything, it would tell you. And I think it would even fix it, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember really.
I wish we had that now.
But it kind of makes me wonder why, you know, we don't have that kind of technology, but we do have CT scans, we got MRIs, we got all that cool stuff. Why don't they do a baseline MRI, and then every year or so, every 5 years, you go back and get another baseline just to see if anything's growing inside you?
I guess it's just the cost prohibitive part of it.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
You'd think it would save them more money in the long run, you know, because they would find stuff quicker, maybe.
but really and truly, how much cost is in these MRIs? Because the major cost of anything is when it's first developed, because they had to put a lot of man hours and a lot of thought and a lot of work into the development of the product. It's like medicine. When a medicine comes out on the market, it's new, and there was a lot of research that went into that and a lot of things. And so most of the time when a medicine hits the market, it's outrageous. It's, you know, you can't get it. You have to get some generic knockoff.
Very expensive.
So the cost has to be recouped. I understand that. But over time,
Right.
it's like Nexium. I remember when I used to have to take Nexium. I don't have to take it anymore, but when I used to have to take it, at one time you couldn't get Nexium.
Right.
It was so expensive, you had to get some generic.
Yeah,
Nexium.
insurance wouldn't even touch it.
And it was that way for years after the product was even developed. And so I don't understand that. I think that's just gouging.
Yeah.
And so MRI technology has been around for a long time. You would think they've recouped the cost of development and of all the man hours and all the studies that went into it. So now I don't think MRI should cost as much.
No, I agree. I think it should be. I think it's like you said. You should be able to get at least one a year.
Yeah.
A full body scan.
A full body scan. Show me anything that's in me, and then maybe they don't do it for radio. You know, I talked with a friend of mine who's a radiologist, and he told me that it's probably the radiation. You know, because that's a lot.
Well, I could see that from CT, but an MR is magnetic resonance.
Well, I don't know anything about it. So here's my thing. If it is that, then, you know, let's do it once every 5 years.
Right.
Sort of like a colonoscopy or something, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we do those every 5 years.
You're very familiar with those, I think.
Yes. As you get older, you'll get that way too, bro.
I was gonna say,
I already have.
I was gonna say, y'all are at the age, not me.
Yeah, you
well,
probably
it's
need
coming
one.
for you.
Thank you for that.
Yes. And
I can't wait.
I think you're a little clogged up, Eddie. You probably need one.
But I agree with you on those things, and I think a lot of these places tend to put money in front of people's lives. We're here to save lives. We're here to we want to make sure everybody's healthy. If everybody's healthy, then they can put more money into the hospital. I mean,
but then
they're
again,
going to come.
But then again, I don't run a hospital. I don't know anything about that, so I really can't speak to it.
That's
I
true.
may be talking out of school, but it's just a thought.
Yeah, no, it's a good thought.
And I wish someone that did have the authority or the knowledge would comment on this podcast and let us know why.
Yeah,
Right.
Why? So that's my question of the day. Why can't we do an MRI or some?
I think it's a cost control by the insurance, to be honest, because
probably
I know they have contracts and they get less money and all that stuff for procedures that are done at a hospital and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they're the ones that really control everything, to be honest.
Well, I just wish they would somebody would comment and let me know what that if they do know.
Right.
Why can't we do an MRI every 5 years?
yeah.
Something that would show anything that would be growing, any cancers that may come up in our body. Do a complete body scan.
Yeah.
And then every 5 years we compare it, just like they do. They do breast exams.
Oh yeah.
Every year.
Mammographies. Yeah.
Every year.
That's absolutely true.
So why can't we do that a complete body scan once every 5 years or something and compare it and that way we could get on if there was something come in us some kind of cancer or something happened, we would get on it pretty quickly.
Yeah, you catch it fast.
You'd catch it before what do they call it, metastasized or whatever to other organs, causing you death because now it's in multiple places and now it's harder to contain.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
So that's my thought. The fossils thought.
The wise
fossil.
Yeah, the wise fossil.
So do you feel like as you've gotten older that your views have changed about things?
Yes, absolutely. Your views on everything changes as you get older.
Yeah.
And I'm talking everything. Food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There is no good food anymore. As you get older, nothing tastes good anymore.
No.
My father's 77, I told you, and he tells me every day food is horrible. The only thing that he can taste is sugar. And he said, and that's the thing you don't want to eat.
Right. That's the thing you
So
want to stay away from.
He says that sugar is as you get older, your taste buds kind of fade away. Mm-hmm. And so sugar is what he can taste. And so, food, your views on food change, your views on life change, the meaning of life. You start searching that out pretty hard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And millennial, you being a religious person, your views on that change.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You start, if you are a hellion, as you get older, you start trying to slack off on being one because you're at that point you start thinking, I'm not young. I may leave here, and what happens when I leave here? And
you're right.
Then again, there are some that don't.
Right.
But for the most part, your views on faith, religion, food, just general things, news. politics.
Things that bother you that didn't used to
That
bother
didn't
you.
bother you. You know, my father, like I said, 77, he wants to talk politics all the time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, Dad,
I hate talking
there's
politics.
no need
too.
in talking about it because they're all idiots. It doesn't matter. I don't care what side of the platform you're on. They're all dumb as crap. So
Absolutely.
what good does it do you to talk about that?
Sure.
But, so things get on your nerves. And as you get older, what I'm finding from him is something will get on his nerves, and that will wear him out for weeks.
Yes.
Not
I've
just,
seen that.
not just a few hours. I'll talk to him today about, and he'll be all torqued up over something. And I'll talk to him 3 days later, and he's still torqued up over the same thing.
Yeah. Older folks do that. I've noticed that. A lot of older folks do that. I don't know if it's just their generation or it's because they've gotten older. I don't know.
Well, I think it's because millennials just don't care.
Absolutely.
You
Let me-
will care, sir.
Let me
one
ask you.
day.
Let me ask you this, Abe. Do you still do stupid stuff in your life, or do you all still? Do
I'm
dumb
sure I
stuff?
still do stupid
I
stuff,
absolutely do stupid
but
stuff.
I
Well,
try
I mean,
not to do anything
I'm-
that hurts me.
Yeah, I was gonna say compared to when you were a youth, do you still
Yeah,
do
dude, I
those-
used to go up on the side of mountains and
try to fly?
jump off and grab a tree and ride it all the way down the side of the mountain.
Wow.
No, there's no way I would do that ever.
It's funny, man.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
It's like
reviews
pain
change.
didn't bother you. It's like you almost. I mean, you didn't want to break your arm or nothing, but you didn't mind getting hurt a little bit. It's like you had to have.
Well, that's because you recovered much quicker
that's
then.
true. Mm-hmm.
You'll see as you get older. I mean, I had a knee issue, and man, that thing nagged me for 6 months
Yeah.
before it finally got better.
So
Yeah, it's scary.
I think your views do change, and I think you do turn into your parents
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yes.
And now, as much as you don't want to,
Right.
and I do not want to turn into my father, but I find myself doing some of the things and thinking
Yeah.
The way he does.
does,
Yeah.
and that aggravates me.
It's okay, Troy.
It's almost in the genetics.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it is.
You know that commercial that they do, that progressive commercial where the kid, the man turns into his mother or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's funny.
it's the truth.
Yeah.
You start thinking differently. You start
Turn the
taking.
thermostat down.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is kind of crazy. Well, getting toward the end of this thing, I mean, what are your goals for the future, Eddie?
My goals for the future. My house is paid off. That's a huge goal.
Well, that's a goal, but we're talking about. Well, I guess for getting older, that'd be good.
Yeah,
that's
'cause
something you
finances
want
is a-
done
finance
before
is a
you
big deal.
get old because
Getting
you
out there.
retirement.
Well, you know a lot of older folks who can't. They're still working at 70-something years old. I mean,
Yeah.
they can't even retire or anything. I would love to have my stuff paid off. I'd love to hopefully have, maybe what do they call them? A money fund or something like that.
A
built
Roth
up.
IRA or something.
Yeah,
of that
well,
nature.
yeah, something that I've got that's built up. That way, when I'm older, I can
Retirement
vacation
fund.
a little bit, have fun. But I also I'm wanting to eat better, and I'm wanting to work out a little more and try to get my body in shape. Because, like I've said before on some of the other podcasts, I want to be there for my grandkids. I want to be able to get in the floor. I still want to do stuff. I don't want to feel like he's got these people who barely walk around. I don't want to be that.
So you're trying to get rid of that washed up stomach?
yeah. No, I'm probably not going to do that. I've tried that for a while, and it's not working.
Eddie does not have a washed up stomach.
No, that's true.
Anyway,
I used to.
well,
Okay,
I don't know where it went.
Maybe I'm kidding. I really.
But no, goals. I can understand that. I can understand you want to retire someday, and in order to do that, you got to pay your home off, and you gotta save for the future so that you can have something to do. But
Yeah.
I've almost come to the conclusion that retirement is a false
false.
dream.
Yeah,
is a
you're
false
right.
dream.
You're
I don't
absolutely
think I don't think anybody gets to really do it
You're
unless you do have a lot of money.
Right.
For the general gen pop people like me and I'm assuming you guys. I don't know. You guys may be billionaires for all I know, but nevertheless,
Got tons of money.
yeah,
Donate if you don't care.
yeah, but, yeah. Abe,
We need a
give
donate
us a little,
button.
would you?
We
Sorry.
need a donate button.
But really and truly, for the folks who are just making it payday to payday,
Yeah.
retirement is false.
You're
It's,
right.
it's not going to happen. Now, some people will disagree, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, you can retire," and you probably can, but you'll have to retire and live at a lower level than you're living.
You're
now.
right. Absolutely.
And so I guess what I need to say is, you'll be able to retire, but your views of the things that you think retirement will change.
Yeah.
You won't be traveling very much, and you'll probably be sitting around watching antenna television, not cable TV, because you can't afford it.
Yeah, you're right.
Can't afford that now, actually.
What about your goals, Troy?
My goals, I'm 53. My wife is a school teacher, and she says that she'd like to retire in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
She's been doing it for quite a while, and she wants to retire, and my dream would be to retire when she does. And I have the dreams of everybody else. I want to be able to travel, but I don't want to travel extravagantly.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about going to Italy and all these cool places, which I love to go, but it ain't happening in my life.
Yeah.
So I'd like to just
Dream on.
I'd just
I
like
was
to
going to say that, but I lost my voice.
Dream On by Aerosmith.
I'd just
buddy.
like to travel.
Dream on.
Yeah, please do not sing.
That's not the millennial this time.
Okay, Lord.
Hey, do we not have a Star Wars reference for him?
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I want to be like
How
Luke
about Star
Skywalker.
Trek? Live long and prosper.
Yeah, they
Hey,
got
Luke
that.
Skywalker got older and become a hermit on the the new shows.
It's true. It's just like
Mean
Troy,
arm.
actually.
He was a mean old hermit like Troy. That's true. Troy, you're Luke Skywalker.
Well, they give us a star every time they do the Star Wars thing. They're doing
The
this.
very old version of it.
Oh, have mercy. Anyway, I don't even know where I was. You just realized me.
We don't care about your dreams, Troy.
Oh, no, nobody does.
Your dreams are nightmares.
Yes, they are, and I'm sitting with them right now.
That was fun, huh?
But no, I want to I want to travel just here in the States. I don't want to go anywhere crazy. You get the coronavirus if you go somewhere.
Here lately.
But no, I just want to do some travel around, do day trips with my wife, and just hang around the house
Road trips.
and just chill out.
Do you a big
Kind
road
of like
trip?
you do now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, you go home and just hang around the house. Well, my goals and dreams, I guess. I mean, yes, I want to be out of debt, kind of like Eddie does. I want to have money to spend if I could retire. The problem with retiring, and the reason why it's a falsehood, is because of insurance.
Yeah.
That is
That's
true. You are that is 100%.
That's why you need to be healthy the entire
But
time.
and that was another thing for me. Excuse me, there we're going to step on your hopes and dreams for a minute. Another part of mine
Squish my dreams.
was health, and that's why I'm on the treadmill every day.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's good.
You know, I run 30 to 50 miles a week. I do that because I want to be healthier so that I can live longer.
Feel good living longer.
And I can get around and do things. Now, is that a guarantee? Absolutely not.
That's true.
I could fall over dead in the next 5 minutes, and probably hanging around you jokers, it's pushing me closer and closer every day.
You are getting grayer.
Yes.
You're going to have to show me how to use that system over there in case that happens.
Well, it's not that hard, trust me.
Well, now that we've stepped all over your dreams.
Yeah, go ahead there, Dreamy.
Go ahead and dream
But
on.
anyways,
Go ahead
just
there,
being out of
electric
debt,
lips.
I'm kind of like you. There's, I saw something on the TV the other night where somebody said that they had this book of places in the United States, and they just, started checking things off that list on that book because there's so much to see in the United States. And I'm like you, Troy. I kind of would like to travel around a little bit, see some of the things that I haven't seen. Now, my dad being in the Air Force, we got to see quite a bit. I mean, I've seen the Grand Canyon. I've been to Canada. I've been to a few places that most people don't get to go.
Yeah.
But I would just like to see some of those sites that are just beautiful. I mean, my son was showing me some stuff on TikTok. And it wasn't even funny stuff. It was just like beautiful scenery that people would just put on there. And it was like just gorgeous places.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, man, how quiet and beautiful that was,
There's a lot of that stuff here in the States.
That's true.
You don't have to travel extravagantly to see the beauty of the United States. The United States is a large, large place, and there's a lot of places that I'd love to see. One of the dream trips that me and my wife would like to take, we'd love to take a trip and leave and go south and maybe down to New Orleans and head west, go all the way out west down the southern part, and then go all the way up the coast of California and Oregon, and then come back up north all the way through,
That'd be
Iowa
cool.
and all those places.
You going to go down towards Mexico and climb the wall?
Not really, no. Have no reason to be in Mexico.
I'd like to see you climb the wall.
I think
tackle you.
I think it's very tall.
I don't even know if it's there.
He's too
I
old
think
now.
it's a farce. I don't think that the wall's really there.
Yeah, I think it's just one little section they keep taking a picture of.
I just want to see you climbing the wall. That's all.
Well, you're never going to see that, millennial.
But, that's probably my biggest thing. It's
Yeah.
just getting out, seeing the world,
It's living. You just
enjoying life. Because you don't enjoy
Yeah.
it, really. You work so much and you work so hard all the time.
Well, that's the thing that happens. My grandfather worked at Shelby Williams. It was a furniture factory, and he worked there for years. And then when he retired, he came home, and it was maybe a couple of years after he retired, and he passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, they worked their hind end off all their
Scary,
lives.
isn't it?
They come home, and then you think that's when they should enjoy their life, and
Right.
then their life is over.
Yeah.
And what did they do all their life? All they did was work.
Work. Yeah.
I heard a story the other day about this lady that she had kids and her husband had just passed away, and her kids were a little bit older. They were out of the house, and she'd never really left out of her her area. She's always stayed put. And she ended up listening to a minister and went down and ended up going to their college and things like that. And she ended up having this desire to go to Uganda. Is that right? Uganda. And
See Thaddeus?
I think that was the place. And she went over that way, and she fell in love, and she ended up adopting a bunch of these little kids. And they've asked her a few times, and she said, "Man, I'm the happiest person in the world." She's finally started living. But the thing is, and you're right. Do we wait till the end of our life to start living?
Yeah, I think we got this totally backwards. I think we should retire and be able to stay retired till we turn 60. And then when you turn 60, you should work every day till you fall over dead.
You'd probably live a lot longer if you did that.
Yeah, you'll probably die
Well,
a few
think
weeks
about
in.
it. Well, now think about it. Think about it. When
Yeah.
you're young, you feel like doing stuff.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I've heard a lot of people say, "Well, I retired, but then I just didn't feel like doing anything, so I just sat around the house."
You know
I
who
hope
you're-
not to
So
do that.
if we did it on the front side, if we didn't have to start work till we were 50 or 60,
Right.
and then when we turned 50 or 60, we just worked all the time.
Okay, you're getting this. You're crazy right now because this is already going on with a lot of younger people now. You're speaking like a millennial, Troy.
Well, the thing about it is there is a lot of it going on, and it's called welfare.
That's
Oh.
true. Oh,
Oh, I better get. Let's see. Yeah,
there you go.
It's called welfare.
yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few people on that.
Let's
you-
don't get on that
got the
topic, or
money.
we will have a lot
Or
of
you-
people
Yeah.
comment.
We'll have
that
some
or-
haters for sure.
Well, you want some comments.
Yeah.
Or you got a lot of money, or mom and dad's got money and they've built a business, which is nice. I wish I had a business to inherit.
Well,
But I don't.
anyway, so we did skip over the fun fact of the day by the great millennial. So give us the fun facts, millennial.
Well, I got a little history here
Oh, Lord.
gosh.
from the
Work
ancient.
history.
This is off
Hopefully
the.
it's somebody that's still alive.
Oh, God.
No, I don't think it's. I don't know if it's about a person. There's a couple of things. Okay.
Okay.
So the history of old age, from the ancient,
This
literature.
dude, he cannot read.
I forgot my water at the house. From the ancient literature to contemporary times, most authorities have located the beginning of old age around age 60, although some thought it started around age 40. High morality rates have neglected
God.
effects on when old age was thought to begin. So just let you know, when
I'd
you're
say
40,
40 is good.
when
Yeah.
you're 40, you're old as crap.
I
So
think that's right on the dot, actually.
I actually have another thing that I'd like to share. Signs of old age, okay?
Oh, Lord.
So some common signs of symptoms of aging include increased susceptibility.
Not being able to read.
No, that's a millennial thing.
Okay.
Increase in
It's because of that common core crap y'all learned in school.
that's Generation Z or whatever, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyways,
okay.
You're
increased.
too busy stealing Pokemons or whatever that was. from that
I
kid.
did do that. Poor kid. I'm sorry, whoever you are.
Thief.
If you're listening, I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Doubt they
so
are, but
increased susceptibility to infection.
What?
Whatever, you know.
Check.
Yeah. Greater risk of heat stroke. Greatest risk of it is heat stroke.
hey,
Sorry.
I've had that happen one time, actually.
Apparently, I'm reading right. Greatest risk of heat stroke or hypothermia. Slightest decrease in height as the bones of our spine
start
get thinner
sloping.
and lose some height. Bones break more easily. Joint changes ranging from minor stiffness to severe arthritis.
Well, Abe, you're going to be 3'2".
And
I'm
stooped
going to be real short.
Stoop posture. There's others, but I didn't want to get into that. But I wanted to
Yeah,
give one more.
please, no.
Physical signs of old age. There's another one.
Oh, Lord.
Receding gums. Of course, people do lose their teeth, I guess, as they get older.
That's true. That's true. Falsies.
As you get older,
Gummies.
your gums are likely to recede from your teeth or whatever. Loss of height. The appearance.
What are you pointing at me for?
I wish we had a video now.
Oh,
The appearance of senile warts. Senile warts.
What?
I don't know.
What the crap is that?
No, I was going to say people do go senile as they get older.
warts?
That's what it says. Look, senile. Is that not senile? Is that senile?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, see? But people do kind of go a little
Glad I
crazy as
don't
they
have
get older.
that.
People do get a little more, as you get older, you do have a little more conspiracy thoughts,
Yeah, whatever.
But frequent urination.
Hey,
Yeah,
now
that's a problem. That's a problem.
I knew you all were going to say something.
you are a winner.
I don't know, though. Some of us have to take Flomax.
I feel like I got to go all night long. That's why.
Okay, enlarged feet, like a hobbit, I guess.
Hobbit? What are you pointing at me again?
What are you talking about?
Hey, I guess it's you.
I'm a hobbit now.
And
You're
then
a 3'2" hobbit.
Yeah.
it says weight gain too, which I guess when you're younger, I think you're more.
Don't point at me. Not that one.
Listen, I think when you're younger, you do a lot of exercises, you do a lot of stuff, and then as you get older, you get married, you get a wife that cooks real good, and you eat a lot, and you sit on your butt a lot, and you get.
Well, that is true.
That's true.
And when you get married, a lot of times you do put on a little bit of weight because you start sitting around. So
Yeah. So I could see that.
Are you done with the fun facts now, Millennial?
Let me look. Let me see.
Lord. Have you got senile warts?
See now.
When you get that one,
Hey,
let me know.
Let me tell you, you all
I'm
starting
going to move to a different office.
Y'all are starting to sound a little crazier. I'm just saying, you're starting to sound a little
What's
senile.
that got to do with warts?
well,
I don't know what it has to do with the warts, though.
Yeah, I don't.
I've never heard of that, but I knew people do get a little more crazy.
Unbelievable.
A senile wart.
That's what it is.
What crap is that?
I don't know.
Hey,
Had a
you
wart
know,
that was senile.
just got to educate everybody out there.
I appreciate
now
that.
everybody's going to go and look it up, right?
Yeah, I guess
I don't know.
Go
I'm
check
not.
it out. Let's go
Let
see
us
what
know.
it is.
Leave a comment if you've had senile warts.
Well, they may not want to do that. It might be really bad.
That's true. I don't want people to know that.
But if you know what it is, please let us know.
Please
It's a ward. I get it. I know.
comment somewhere.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Well, anyway.
did you learn anything from the millennial?
So you people out there that are listening, you see the struggle that I have here.
the struggle's real.
The struggle here is real.
Apparently, you're going to be a midget.
With senile warts.
Let's see now warts.
Hey,
Unbelievable.
I want you to know this, Abe. You're beneath me, literally, because you're short.
Where's that?
Was that? I thought that was a great thing to say. I thought it was a great joke.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's our question today to the viewers? Or viewers.
About the warts,
To
maybe?
the sounders. Whatever you
I,
call
had
it.
I already did my question of the day. I forgot what it was, but I'll have to
Because
play
you're
this
getting
back to
senile
hear
warts.
it. Yeah, I got senile warts.
Do you still feel?
No, it's about the MRI.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
My
that
question
was
of
it.
the day is,
Why can't we
why
have
can't
an
we
MRI?
have MRI every 5 years?
I've
A
got-
complete body scan.
I've got one. Do you still, even though you're older, do you still feel like you're young? In in your mind, in your heart. I know you might not be in your body, but do you still feel that way?
Considering that was one of the points we covered, I'm glad you
Sure.
come up with that question of the day.
Good question.
I'm very smart, intelligent.
Yes, you can at least
Oh, Lord.
unbelievable.
Okay, it's time to end this.
What
thing.
about yours, Abe? You
Yeah,
never
what's
told us
yours?
what your question,
Question
of the day.
I at least had a
My
question.
question of the day is, what the hell are we doing with Eddie on this podcast?
I'm fulfilling.
We're trying to get
I just stand in a corner.
we got to get a replacement.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I'm very
We're
fun.
gonna
Fun
we're,
facts.
We're gonna take some applications for someone to stand to fill in for Eddie.
You don't have to do a whole lot. Just stand here and go, mm-hmm.
You just have to be a millennial.
Yeah.
This podcast wouldn't be the same without you, Eddie.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't have a question today. We'll just go with yours. Why
Rock
can't we
on.
have a full body scan at least once a year, once every 5 years?
Yeah. So if you're a genius out there and a doctor maybe or something and know this answer, please let us know.
Hopefully, you're listening to this podcast.
Because really, it's a question that
Yep.
I have. I'm not making up something.
Right.
I'd really like to know.
Yeah.
If it's possible and why we don't do it other than insurance reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
And which is a joke anyway.
Also, if y'all have any other ideas, message us. If you're curious, you want us to talk about something, we'll talk about just about anything.
Yeah, give us some topics because we're putting them in a hat and just pulling them out and doing podcasts on them.
Yep.
Yeah. So with that being said, remember, visit us on our Facebook account, facebook.com/straytopics. It's spelled STRAYTOPIX. You can visit us at our Twitter page, twitter.com/straytopics. You can visit us at our webpage at straytopics.com. And if you want to go to our host that hosts our podcast, Podbean, and visit our site there, it's podbean.com, podbean.com/straytopics.
That's just as bad as stupid as his name is.
Well, Podbean's what they call it.
Okay.
I can't help that. I think it's pretty cool, actually. So, with that being said,
He's going crazy. He's senile.
he's got the senile warts already. It just happened. Abe is a worrier too, though.
I am.
So he
I
will,
worry
so
warts.
he's already worried that he's got senile warts. He's probably checking himself right now.
I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh. So, with that being said, we'd really like to thank everybody for listening
Yeah, we
today,
do.
listening to this podcast. Listen, we drop one of these every Monday. So, unless I forget. And
sure
that's
you
my
subscribe.
that's my senile warts happening.
Yeah,
That's
there you go.
slacker.
I have forgotten once, and
slacker.
and I put it out later in the day. But most of the times, we do put one of these out every Monday.
Yep.
If you will go to our website, straytopics.com, at the bottom of the page, there's a subscription. If you'll type in your email address and hit submit, then every Monday morning, when we release one of these, about 4 a.m., you'll get an email. That email will come to you, and
You got mail.
And yeah, you got mail. And if you check your email, you will be able to there's a link in the email that'll take you to the Stray Topics podcast, and you can listen to it on your way to work.
Absolutely.
On Monday. That'll be the brightest and shiningest moment of your Monday. Trust me.
Yeah.
Is
Something to get you started.
listening to our podcast.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, subscribe to that, and you'll get an email letting you know when a new one drops. Every Monday we try to drop a new one, and this one will fall on a Monday.
Yep. Absolutely.
So with that being said, anybody got anything else?
Nope. I'm rolled.
How about you, millennial?
I've got all my facts out.
Oh, well, we're glad. Well, again, thanks everybody for listening. We really appreciate it, and we will see you next time on the Stray
Stray
Topics.